Hello friends, welcome to a new lecture today on esophagus surgery. Intermittent dysphagia is caused by stricture. It causes permanent diffuse dysphagia. Achalasia cardia causes slowly progressive dysphagia, whereas intermittent dysphagia are caused by reflex esophagitis and pharyngeal diverticulum, and also diffuse esophageal spasm. Question number 2. 60-year-old patient presents with dysphagia of 6 weeks duration with solid foods, now can swallow only liquids. Investigation done for diagnosis is, 60-year-old patient with dysphagia for 6 weeks. For solid foods, first for solids, and now he is able to swallow only liquids. So it is true, it is not achalasia, number 1. Then older patient with solid foods, no regurgitation. So you can rule out diverticulums. So it is mostly, it can be either stricture or it can be either carcinoma esophagus. So keeping in view that it can be carcinoma esophagus, you will have to do chest x-ray, then barium swallow to look at the defect. You see rat tail deformity or irregular filling defects are seen, and endoscopy, and you should take biopsy from it, and ultrasonography to see if there are any abdominal metastasis, and for CT scan should be done to see if there is any other lymph node involvement. Right. Then the question number 3, investigation of choice for dysphagia of solid foods is, dysphagia of solid foods, always do endoscopy to see if there is any mass or if there is any stricture. Then a patient with dysphagia of 4 weeks duration, now able to swallow liquid foods only. Which of the following is the one investigation to be done? Dysphagia of 4 weeks duration, swallow liquid foods only. So there is solid dysphagia. So always do endoscopy should be done if there is solid dysphagia, because you can see if there is any lesion or stricture can be visualized easily with an endoscopy. Then question number 5. Odynophagia occurs in. Odynophagia is painful swallowing. It is seen in herpes esophagitis and monilial esophagitis, because in both these conditions are inflammatory disorders, thus causes pain, whereas no pain is noted in achalasia or Barrett's esophagus. Then question number 7. Meckel's triad includes. Meckel's triad is seen in Borjev syndrome, where there is which occurs when there is vomiting against closed glottis. When there is vomiting against closed glottis, then there occurs increased pressure in the esophagus, thus causing complete rupture of all layers of esophagus in the lower esophagus mainly. The left posterior part of lower esophagus. So because the contents of the esophagus go and deposit in the mediastinum and in the pleura, it can cause subcutaneous emphysema and lower thoracic pain. So Meckel's triad includes vomiting, subcutaneous emphysema and lower thoracic pain. Then true about Borjev syndrome is most common in the lower 1/3 of esophagus. True, hematemesis is early symptom. It is false. Actually, hematemesis is early symptom of Mallory-Weiss syndrome, not Borjev syndrome. Acute chest pain is associated with Borjev syndrome. Borjev syndrome should be surgically corrected. Operation is done after for 24 hours is false. Actually, for Borje's syndrome, operation is not done after 24 hours. It is done before. Then question number 7. 8. True about esophageal injury in Borje's syndrome is most common in lower 1/3. True. Hematemesis is early symptom. False. Acute chest pain. True. Surgically treated. True. It is just the previous question. Sorry. Then Borje's syndrome. True is Borje's syndrome is iatrogenic. False. It is most commonly seen in alcoholics due to excessive vomiting. Borje's syndrome, silent manifestation. No, it is not silent manifestation. Here the patient presents with excessive pain in the thorax with there will be hemodynamic imbalance seen in Borje's syndrome. Presents with acute chest pain. True. There is acute chest pain. Treatment is surgical. True. Question number 9. Esophageal perforation during endoscopy occurs at esophageal perforation occurs at upper esophageal sphincter. True. It occurs mainly at upper esophageal sphincter. Then next question. The commonest type of tracheoesophageal fistula is. Question number 10. The commonest type of tracheoesophageal fistula is proximal end is blind and distal end is communicating with the trachea. True. Type C type, which is proximal end is blind, distal end is communicating with trachea. True. Malignant tracheoesophageal fistula is best treated with stenting. Because it is malignant tracheoesophageal fistula, it is best treated with stenting. Then question number 11. Treatment of malignant tracheoesophageal fistula includes expandable metallic stents, surgery with graft and gastrostomy tube. Expandable metallic stent, surgery with graft and gastrostomy tube. Then question number 12. Skatsky's ring is mucosal ring which is seen at squamocolumnar junction. Skatsky's ring is not a muscular ring. It is mucosal ring seen at squamocolumnar junction, and here dysphagia is more commonly seen in this condition. Then the next question. Skatsky's ring has skeletal muscle. False. It is actually mucosa located in lower esophagus. True. Causes dysphagia. True. Contains all layers of esophagus. False. It mainly contains the only mucosa. Then question 14. Which structures crosses esophagus at 25 centimeters from incisor teeth? 25 centimeters, it is arch of aorta, and left bronchus crosses at 25 centimeters from incisor teeth. Then question number 14. False statement about esophagus is. Esophagus, if you see, thoracic esophagus is supplied directly by aorta. False. Bleeding from varices occurs from thoracic esophagus is supplied directly from aorta. True. It has aortic branches. Bleeding from varices occurs from mid-esophagus. False. Variceal bleeding is mainly in the lower esophagus. Cervical esophagus drains to deep cervical lymph nodes. True. It has rich lymphatic network. True. Abdominal part of esophagus drains to left gastric veins. True. Then last question of this session. Diagnosis of traumatic rupture of diaphragm is made by. Diagnosis of traumatic rupture of diaphragm is made by laparoscopy. With laparoscopy, you can clearly diagnose the thoracic rupture of traumatic rupture of diaphragm. So this ends the complete MCQ session on esophagus. Thank you guys for watching my lecture. Thank you.